And the Thai government recently came out and said, well, they had one of the princesses had had it. She's in a coma because of taking a booster, I think. Yeah. And they came out and said against Pfizer.
Apparently, they're going to break the Pfizer purchase contract. I've read one of the early statements then contradicted that position, but now apparently that's the case. I haven't followed the story as close, rigorously.
How was Bill Gates involved in all this? You mentioned him earlier, and didn't he recently come out with a statement about the vaccine? The same statement maybe you made 2 years ago that got you banned. Can you expand on that?
So first off, how was he involved? Clearly, as one of the two major funders, and really, I think World Economic Forum and Bill Gates to consider those independent entities is not really valid. They're interdigitated. And with Bill Gates, you have to remember that the foundation also will benefit from the entire Warren Buffett portfolio will be wrapped into that. My understanding is that, and I've worked for a Bill and Melinda Gates funded organization, the ARIS Global TB Vaccine Foundation. I used to consult for PATH periodically, which is like their mothership organization in Seattle, nonprofit. So Gates appears to deploy this venture philanthropy kind of strategy, or some people call it pathophilanthropy. There's a variety of terms in which he gets the benefit of the public relations around philanthropic good works, while simultaneously exploiting the information that's coming through his nonprofit ventures to support investment portfolio decisions. And there's a clip of him at Keystone, I think, in the snow where he's bragging about this and bragging about the 20-fold return on investment that he's made. He made major investments in the RNA platform technology companies early on. So a providential foreshadowing of the future. I mean, in terms of, as somebody who's been involved in the investment community, you can appreciate the value of being involved with the governments in planning how they're going to respond to a public health crisis when you're intimately integrated into the public health product development ecosystem. So you are. It's akin to the Pelosi family's investments, I guess one could say. Former Speaker of the House in the United States that has made enormous amounts of money through Wall Street trading by essentially protected insider trading activities that they cannot be held accountable for because of their political status. And in Bill's case, he clearly has insider information. He's actually shaping government policy and WHO policy in real time. Apparently had a major role in the appointment of Tedros, for example. So he's actively shaping policy while he's making these nonprofit investments and simultaneously managing a massive investment portfolio that also includes investment in this same industry, from which he has bragged that he got a 20-fold return on his vaccine investments that were strategically aligned with what the government policy ended up being.
Is China also involved in putting Tedros in the WEF?
Yes, absolutely.
So
that's a link. Well, you know that the WEF, everybody thinks the World Economic Forum just meets in Davos for their Bacchanal in the winter. But since the 70s, they have had a rotating summer meeting in China. There's 2 different cities that they go to. The BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, that integrated thing, whatever it is, that all cross-owns each other, is actively investing in a very large portfolio of Chinese projects, and capitalizing a lot of the Chinese building and investment strategy. So it's really no longer, I like to say, with these large blocks of capital, once upon a time, capital was more constrained by national boundaries. The classic criticism of capitalism is the extraction of surplus value from labor and then exploitation of that for further growth. And, another theory developed here in this island. That's obsolete. The idea that the capital stays, whether it's extracted from natural resources or from labor, that stays within the boundaries of a nation state or allied with that nation state government under which it derived. Capital now exists in a free-floating way in a transnational way. And as you know, I'm teaching, you know more about economics than I do. It moves globally, seeking return on investment. It has no morality. It has no ties to the objectives of a nation state or its culture. It has no ties to religion or, with the exception of the Catholic Church's banking. But for the most part, it exists in an independent, free-floating environment where it merely pursues the only objective of growth in a relatively apolitical, amoral way. And so if you get best return on investment using the Chinese model, of course you're going to do that. You're going to justify it, as to do otherwise is to compromise your fiduciary duty to your stockholders and your investors, right? And so that's how it behaves. And Gates and Warren Buffett are absolutely part of that ecosystem. And so Gates has this unique position where he's crafting government policy, he's crafting WHO policy, he's building momentum through his unique access to press. He has actively funded the development of a new school of journalism in the sense of a new logic of journalism called advocacy journalism. It's another one of the stories I broke, as I hunted down, and I think you can't even find those web pages anymore, where the Gates Foundation has listed their philanthropic activities. And this includes a number of major awards to places like the Columbia J School, School of Journalism, to advance advocacy journalism curriculum, which has become the new trend. I argue that advocacy journalism, by its very definition, is propaganda.
So the greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.